Today I'm going to be showing you guys 4 LEGO building techniques that will get you the most women. All these techniques are implemented in my most recent build right here. Go check out the full build process, link down below, but watch it after you finish this video till the end, because if my audience retention drops below 99%, I'm going to steal all of your LEGOs, sell it on the black market, and pay for every billboard in the world to say, subscribe to Sacred Bricks. Alright, so there are 4 tips I want to show you guys, and each of these have multiple implementations throughout the build to make it the sexiest possible chunk of molded plastic in the history of man. The first tip I want to talk about is flooring. My new favorite floor design is this technique where I place a plate between 2 studs and shove them between the studs on a base, kind of like how I shove children in my basement. And off of that I built multiple sections, and this is super versatile. You can use it to make some really natural flooring by placing different colors, or making it look very clean, or even super dilapidated, kind of like the floor of the LEGO store after me and the boys pull up for a raid with our golf clubs. Another floor technique, or more like a path technique I used, is where I connected 4 snot bricks in a square formation and then added ingots on the side for more texture. This one is very clean but still has that tiny hole in the middle, but hey, I love tiny holes. The next floor technique is not one of my favorites, but it's definitely convenient and great for people with less parts, where you basically achieve a checkerboard pattern, or just a randomized one, where you place tiles right side up and upside down, which adds a good bit more of texture. The only issue is that the flipped tile has a dip in it, so if a child is running, they're gonna trip and fall on their face. So parents, you might want to take notes, just in case if you know your kid is annoying and you need some new flooring. Just put 2 and 2 together. For the last floor technique, this one is great for interiors. You basically stack up a tile on 2 plates high, and then place a layer of snot tiling between each of those sections, and this adds a lot more texture and depth, and it is just so much better than normal tiling, and let's just face it, it creates the most female magnetic thing since having a mullet. Next up, I want to talk about foliage. In the front of this LEGO creation, I included these 2 super sick bonsai trees that are just beautiful. I actually built these using vine pieces because the stems are as wide as a bar piece, meaning you could fit leaf pieces in them, and then stack smaller leaf pieces on top, and get some really good angles and shaping. Also, if you press down really hard, you could actually get the smaller leaf pieces to slide down below the tip, which adds a lot more realism, and it just looks so good. If you're ever lonely by chance, I personally suggest to put a massive picture of this tree outside your house, and within seconds you will need to hire bodyguards to fend off all the women and men that are going to attack you. Now moving on to my next tip, this one is about furniture. Over here are some generic noob furniture builds that normal people would make, and over here are some builds that cracked, sweaty children in my basement make. As you can see, comparing these 2 bookshelves, the one on the right has so much more texture and depth than the plain one on the left. It actually looks like it has some real books in it because of the different shapes, lengths, and colors, instead of looking like a bookshelf from a knockoff Barbie doll playset that your grandma buys you when you're 5. Also, the glizzy lamp is such a pro gamer move, not only because it's a glizzy, which is just the best LEGO piece. It gets so many women, and it's just the best thing ever. I love glizzies, but also the angle on the lamp adds a lot of style to the build, and the desk over here is also much more detailed than this ugly one that literally looks like something off a TD Bricks tutorial. Rumor has it he's also been dealing illegal building techniques to children. As if I couldn't hate children even more! And with this design right here, I especially love that open drawer that's made using a hinge piece, and the panels on the side that add a lot more depth, which is inspired by the Diagon Alley one. Finally, this couch on the right has a pillow and is much more curvy than a normal one, and you know, the more curvy the better. Now the 4th tip I want to talk about is depth. This muck right here has a ton of depth, whether you're looking at the subtle depth in the floor and the railing on the sides, or how the awning hangs far over the actual wall, and the walls themselves also have depth by the use of some jumper plates for the windows, and the bar pieces on the side. I'm not saying to over-exaggerate and just go crazy and crank 3000s. Keep it clean, but not super flat and boring like an Avaki video. But anyways, those were my 4 tips. If you enjoyed, crank 90s on that like and subscribe button, and join my Discord server. If you don't comment on this video, I will hunt you down and put Legos in your shoes.